Have you ever thought about what it's like to experience something for the very first time?
Like, totally brand new. Like you've
Eh,
never ever encountered it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a completely fresh perspective.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing thing when you think about it.
Yeah, it really is.
So today we're diving into that feeling of new beginnings with a story called The Little Lamb's First Spring.
Okay, cool.
It follows this adorable lamb named Luna as she experiences springtime for the first time.
First time, huh? So she's never seen it before.
Never, ever. So we're going to unpack all those feelings and discoveries that come with those first-time experiences.
I like it, those aha moments.
Exactly.
Cool. So what's Luna's world like before spring arrives?
Well, before spring, her world's pretty limited. It's basically snow, the barn, and her mama.
Ah, so pretty cozy, but not a lot of variety.
Exactly. And that's what makes her first encounter with spring so fascinating. She's asking all these innocent questions
Yeah, like what? What kind of
like
questions?
what's a spring? Is it bouncy? Does it make noise? Can I eat it?
Uh-huh. Those are great. I love that she thinks she might be able to eat it.
Right. It's so pure.
It is. It really shows you how much our understanding of the world depends on what we already know.
Yeah,
You know, if all you've ever known is snow and your barn spring is going to be a real head scratcher.
it is. And then imagine all those new sensations hitting her all at once.
Oh, yeah. Like sensory overload.
Total sensory overload.
Huh?
From a quiet, snowy landscape to suddenly tickling grass, buzzing bugs, a flower that seems to sneeze pollen at her.
Wow. It's got to be a lot to take in.
I know. Her reaction is perfect, too. She's just like, what is happening?
I can just imagine her little face.
I know. And the way she describes a butterfly as a flying petal with eyes,
That is perfect. It captures that feeling of trying to make sense of something totally new.
doesn't it? And that's what I love about this story. It really gets at those core learning moments.
Like our brains are constantly trying to categorize things, to put them in neat little boxes.
Right.
But when something totally new comes along,
Yeah.
it throws everything off.
It does. It's like, okay, what box does this go in?
Exactly. And that's where the real learning happens, when we have to expand our understanding.
I love that. So along with all these new sights and sounds, Luna starts meeting other creatures too.
Oh, yeah. Who does she meet?
So there's Gary the goose with his honking blinks.
Honking Blinks. That's a new one.
I know, right? And then there's Betty the bunny who's obsessed with dandelions.
Of course.
And then there's Tulip the cow who gives Luna some rather pointed advice about goats.
Aha! I'm intrigued. Gotta stay away from those dotes.
Right. So it's not just about experiencing the physical world. It's about navigating the social world too.
Yeah, like figuring out how to interact with all these different personalities and behaviors.
And she's doing it all without any prior experience to guide her. It's really fascinating to see how she approaches it.
It is. It's like watching a little scientist conducting experiments.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And of course, not all of her experiments are successful.
Ah, so there are some mishaps along the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of trial and error. She falls in a puddle. She accidentally sniffs a worm.
Oh, yuck.
Right. But it's all part of the process.
It is. It's so important to remember that learning isn't always pretty. It can be messy and confusing.
It can be.
Yeah.
And I think we often forget that we put so much pressure on ourselves to get things right immediately.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But Luna shows us that it's okay to stumble.
Hmm.
It's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's all part of figuring things out.
Exactly. And those stumbles, they often lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
They do. And speaking of breakthroughs, there's this great moment where Luna is determined to bounce.
Oh, yeah, like a real lamb bounce?
Yes. She tries, she trips a couple of times,
Hmm.
and then finally, she leaps right over the chicken.
Aha, yes. Take that chicken.
And all the other animals are cheering her on.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is. It's this beautiful moment of shared joy in her accomplishment.
It's such a great reminder that success, even in small things, can be so rewarding.
And inspiring, too. It makes you
Right.
want to keep trying.
It does, and I think Luna's story is full of those inspiring moments.
I agree. So at the end of this very eventful day, Luna snuggles up with her mama, and she sums up her whole experience. She says spring is bouncy buggy, sneezy silly, and amazing.
That is perfect. That's spring in a nutshell.
It is. And I love how mama responds.
Yeah,
She talks about how new experiences are like little adventures.
that's a great way to look at it. It takes the fear out of the unknown.
It does, because when you think about it, it's not about being perfect, it's about being open to new possibilities.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest takeaways from Luna's story. New beginnings, they can be a bit weird and messy, but they're also full of life and change.
They are. And it's okay to feel a little bit overwhelmed or even scared.
Yeah, those feelings are totally normal.
They are. What matters is that we approach those new experiences with curiosity and courage.
And a willingness to learn from our mistakes.
Exactly. And to celebrate those little victories along the way.
Yeah, like Luna leaping over that chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day-to-day,
Yeah.
I want you to think about Luna's first spring. Think about a time when you encountered something totally new. What were your bouncy, buggy, or even sneezy moments?
Good question.
And what amazing things did you discover along the way?
I like that. I'm going to have to think about that one.
Me too.
I think we could all use a little bit of Luna's spirit of adventure in our lives.
I completely agree.
So let's get out there and explore
Let's do it.
and embrace those new beginnings,
Absolutely.
no matter how messy they might get.
Exactly.